Good evening and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this Tuesday evening. I am running a poll this evening. It is an early video. I do have to head down to Malaga Airport to pick up the missus. And I am running a poll. It says, will you back Robbie Keane as a manager? Will you back a Robbie Keane as manager? It's a 50-50 right now, isn't it? It's looking 50-50 whether it's going to be Robbie Keane or Martin O'Neill as a manager. I've got half an hour spare. I'm going to run this for half an hour. I'm going to run the poll for half an hour. We'll see how this one goes with people on the channel. I'm seeing things online. Fans are kind of split. I think it depends where you sit in the stadium, really. There's a lot of people having various opinions about Robbie Keane. I think it depends where you sit in the stadium. As an ex-Celtic manager. Right, let me just get this back up. We are sitting on 26,872. Can we get to 27,000 before Celtic make the announcement? I am still going to go for on 26,800 to 20. What's going on with that? Early for you, as they say. Should be all back to normal. Press the wrong button. Should have been no. We want him, if not, we still got it back as our manager. There's going to be some interesting comments on this one tonight. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. Early for you, as they say. There we go. A little bit better. The most up-to-date news that we have is Dermot Desmond has met with Robbie Keane. He's the largest shareholder at Celtic. Has held talks with Robbie Keane over the vacant manager role and is due to discuss the opportunity with Martin O'Neill later this week. STV Sport understands, and a lot of the other big mainstream media, whether you like the mainstream media or not, they're the ones that kind of break the news, and those are the ones that we need to rely on from the club to pass out the information. Until the club seems to just decide that, yeah, we're going to let the public know now. Keane resigned from Hungarian club just after they finished second last season. He's met Dermot Desmond to discuss the possibility of stepping into the dugout at Celtic Park. Desmond is also due to meet O'Neill. It's been said today, this morning, it's been said that Martin O'Neill may be looking for a 2-year contract. How, I mean, would he be up for a 2-year finish? Would he really be up for a 2-year contract, Martin O'Neill? It's a game changer, isn't it? I mean, if Martin wants a 2-year contract, I'd tend to go for Martin O'Neill with a 2-year contract. Give us that stability. But then again, it changes nothing on the board. Now, Robbie Keane, it's understood, Robbie Keane wants a 3-year contract. A little bit of a difference between a 2-year and a 3-year. Gives you more stability. And in other news today, Stephen Welsh has left the club by mutual consent. They have ripped up Stevie Welsh's contract. I thought Stevie Welsh had signed a 5-year deal a few years back under Brendan Rodgers. I was positive that Stevie Welsh signed a 5-year. It's something that I'm not too sure, but I was positive that he did. I thought he had about 3 years left on the deal. Welsh has left, but it's been suggested that he only had just over a year left on the deal, and Celtic have ripped up that contract due to the fantastic work that him and his Motherwell team mates did in stopping Motherwell and Rangers It's all allegations, isn't it? It's Celtic on the wind up. If they did put that out, Celtic are on the complete wind up. Anthony Joseph sprung out the news earlier today um, about Stevie Welsh. Stephen Welsh, Celtic and Stephen Welsh have mutually agreed to part their ways this summer. It's an interesting one because he was one that was kind of, Brendan Rodgers liked him as a player and liked to have Stevie Welsh, and to just rip up his contract and let him walk away for nothing. Celtic wanted £1 million from Aberdeen just 6 months ago in the transfer window, and yet Aberdeen kind of didn't want to pay that money. They wanted a bit cheaper. Motherwell, it was way out Motherwell's price range. And so he went back to Motherwell, and by the Celtic played him in the game, in a Scottish Cup game, which meant that he was unable to join another club anyway, so he could only go to Motherwell. So it's said that he's been allowed to terminate his contract as a goodwill gesture for his services and helping Motherwell take points off Celtic's title rivals last season. Clubs in France and Poland. Go to France, mate. Don't go to Poland. I mean, mind you, France. Better lifestyle in France. People in Poland will say, not a chance, better lifestyle in Poland. France is a bit, as long as it's not Paris. Paris is just, I don't know what's going on in Paris just now. It's crazy. But then again, France. I'm not too sure about France. I've drove through France, the full length of it. From the Channel Tunnel all the way down to Bordeaux, over the Pyrenees. And I tell you one thing, doing that during COVID lockdown, oi, oi, oi. That's a story and a half, I tell you. That is a story and a half. John, the truck driving legend, is in the house this evening. Thank you for that, John. Let me just get that super chat. Sorry, the throat's a bit froggy this afternoon. Talking about French. John, the truck driving legend, he says, let's just get that, just put that there. I've got a feeling that Martin O'Neill would be the new CEO and Keane would be the manager with Maloney as football director. Plus, you said back in March that Keane, Brownie, and Hayes typed from my sick bed in Dunfermline. Was that meeting? It was played up as a. No, we spoke about this one. Thank you for the super chat, mate, and I hope you get better soon, so that you can get back to driving trucks around the UK and delivering goods to everybody that needs it. Fantastic job, and yeah, shame about Dunfermline in the cup, wasn't it? Right, get your say in on Key. Here, Kyogo's going to Hibs. Lol, Kyogo's not going to Hibs. Martinez, Keane, big difference. Here's the thought. Does Roberto Martinez have the best agent in the land? Is Roberto Martinez really such an amazing manager? I mean, what's he achieved? If Irishman in Porto was about, he'd tell you that Martinez is not liked in Portugal because of the style of football. He had a Belgian team that were full of superstars. So, I think that it comes down to Martinez has got one of the best. Somebody said that to me. Martinez has got the best agent. Paris is brilliant. Spent 3 months there during art school days. My missus stayed in Paris. Just saying. And her mate, my missus was in Paris during the World Cup back in '98, and her best mate stayed in Paris for about 3 years. It's a different place now, mate. Completely different. In Paris, you would need to be printing press with the price of everything. Yeah. Has Keane been announced? No, not yet. Paris has been a hole for years. You drive anywhere for a pint. Yeah. Whoever the manager is, we must get behind them. Mind you, Paris was brilliant in 1993. Yes, a long time. Last time I was in Paris was 2019 when Celtic played Rennes. I stopped off in Paris and I got off It was the stop before the Disney Paris Disneyland, or the stop after the Paris Disneyland, and I was staying in an Airbnb, and I came up for the underground and came out the train station, and I thought I was going into the Bronx in New York. There was people with shopping trolleys barbecuing food outside the train station, and I was like, I just put my hood up, my headphones in, and I was like, "No danger, man!" It was bizarre. And the guy for the Airbnb that I was staying with, I got lost. I couldn't find the apartment, and he actually came out looking for me. This big 6'4" French dude running about Barry, Barry. He's shitting himself because I'm running about the hood myself, and I'm like, oh no, look at all these guys. I'm going to die in this place. I'm the only white man running about the streets at night. And but yeah, I managed to get to Rennes okay. The videos are on YouTube to prove it. But anyway, Keane isn't liked by millions, by hundreds of millions of people now, Baz. Hundreds of millions. Paris is more like Johannesburg, yeah. It is that. Paris is finished. A bit like London, yep. Like the Warriors. Boom. Paris Disneyland. It was near the Bronx. 1993, so we turned back. Anyway, getting back to Celtic. What's the latest on Arnie Engels? Not a lot. We'll wait until the transfer window opens. Nothing can happen with Arnie Engels until the transfer window opens. And it's just a matter of fact. You know, people could say that they're going to do this, they're going to do that, until someone comes in with a solid offer, which will not be until the window opens. We'll wait and see. It's an interesting one. There's been 152 votes already. Will you back Robbie Keane as Celtic manager? And 68% have said yes. 32% have said no. I know it's not a big, massive audience. I mean, there's been over 600 people online. Only 152 votes in a short period of time, 10 minutes. But 68% have said yes, 32% said no. It's going to be an interesting one to watch. You know, no matter what your politics are, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what Celtic decide to do on this one. Do you think that Celtic have looked at enough managers? I mean, the people that were in, let's talk about everyone that's been linked with the job. Jens was linked with the job because he's done fantastically well at Motherwell. Roberto Martinez was linked with the job because of the Sean Maloney link. That's the only reason that Roberto Martinez was linked with the job. Roberto Martinez was linked with the job back in, what was it, 2016 or something, whenever Brendan Rodgers joined. And then you look at Bellamy. The Celtic connection. That's about the only reason I can think that Bellamy's linked with it. Robbie Keane has been linked with it from the start. Martin O'Neill has been linked with staying on. Have we looked at enough? A Celtic State of Mind done a poll today and got a resounding no. There you go. A resounding no. It's interesting. I would do my best, but I'd rather have Pep. A resounding no. Well, the votes on this channel, will you back Robbie Keane as Celtic manager, is sitting at 66% yes and 34% no. So it just shows you that even on different, I mean, that could change if there was, if this video went out at 8 o'clock at night and it was live then, you know, there could be a lot more people on. Depends who's all sitting about during the day. There's a lot of people working during the day. There's not a lot of people, don't know, sitting on their lunchtime watching a Celtic State of Mind. That, you know, maybe it's an older demographic. I don't know. I don't know their audience. Do you know what I mean? Their audience might be 65 and over. that just hate the thought of Robbie Keane being in it? I don't know. I can only give you the stats on this. And listen, Celtic State of Mind probably had about 3,000 votes on it. It's a way bigger channel. I get it. But in this small channel, we've had 173 votes. 65% say yes, 35% say no. This is what I mean. The Celtic fans can't even agree on it. I take my yes back, Baz. Being linked with the job doesn't mean the board or DD looked at them. Well, this is very true. Politics is becoming far more important than the team by some fans. I get people's views. But what happened to the club? For all. Yeah, that's a good point. What happened to a club open to all? Just not if you're Robbie Keane. I think that's a cracking statement, mate. Don't know what happened to a club open for all. Don't know. We get told not to bring politics into things, and then the club go and look at a manager that, and because of a political, don't know, and it, everybody knows my politics. I mean, I was doing anti-apartheid demonstrations back in 1998 outside shell garages, for goodness sake. It is going to be interesting, and like I say, it's splitting the fans. It is fans. If the poll was, do you want him? It would be no. Baz, somewhere voting multiple times. It would have been unanimous. Some were you can't vote multiple times unless you've got multiple YouTube accounts. You can only vote once. Do we want him? No. Do we need to back him? Yes. I think that's what it comes down to, isn't it? We haven't scratched as much at all, Baz. Managerial was on the building. Keane had just jumped ship. I think Celtic should go above and beyond for the fans. I think that's what they tried to do under Wilfred Nancy, wasn't it? They tried to bring in someone from outside the Celtic sphere, outside the common denominator, Irish. Don't know, the Irish connection has been phenomenal over the last 15 years. I think going down the French route, back to these French again, going down the French route for Wilfred Nancy and that not working. I mean, would Wilfred Nancy had worked if he'd come in the summer? If Celtic have said, do you know what, we're going to stick with Martin O'Neill to the end of the summer, and then Wilfred, we want you to come in the summer. One, would Wilfred Nancy have still stuck around? I think so, because his family's still in Columbus. So they never moved. It was only 33 days. You wouldn't expect his family to move. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, we should have looked a lot further than what we have. A lot further. I'm going to keep that message up. Because I do think that it is important that we cannot say, as a fan base, a club open to all, but because someone took a job somewhere, do we draw the line as fans, or is it a step too far by the board? Because if we say no, that's a step too far, we're then going against the club open to all. We're kind of throwing that in the face of the club as a fan base. It's an interesting one. Been over 200. It's been over 208 votes, and it's still 65% yes, 35% no. So that's interesting. Anyway, I'm going to keep this running. I will run this later. I will run this again tomorrow morning, hoping that we maybe don't have an announcement first thing in the morning. We've no idea when Dermot is meeting Martin. You would think that Martin will be down in London anyway. So Dermot's probably down in London. He probably met Robbie Keane down in London. Marco Silva is leaving Fulham. Would have him in a heartbeat. But what if a manager like that could not work within the limitations of Celtic Football Club? You've got to remember that a lot of these managers that we're talking about have worked predominantly in markets where they're buying players for 15 million and above, 20 million. There's not many £5-6 million players being bought at that level. And it's, can they operate within the limitations of the football club? Celtic may have had conversations with people, and the first thing that the prospective manager says is, "What's the budget for transfers?" And when he hears that the budget for transfers is only 35 million, well, Jesus, what, are we playing schoolboy football here, laddie? That's a big shock. If you're used to spending 50 to 100 million in the transfer market, if you're used to working with a club that even in the lower sides of the English Premier League has a far superior turnover to Celtic Football Club, and then you're coming to work within the limitations, that we have to realise your pecking order as well within the hierarchy of football. Something that I was going to look up, actually. Yeah, that's it. It's just something that I did. It was something that I did back in my college days, and I got thinking about it today. The hierarchy of needs. What is the hierarchy of needs of Celtic? The hierarchy of needs is, physiological. Food, water, air, shelter, clothing, reproduction. Then you've got safety, you've got love and belonging, esteem, and then, who cares? It's Celtic we're talking about, isn't it? There is no hierarchy of needs. It's just get a decent manager in. Right, 233 votes, and we're still sitting at 65% yes, 35% no. How long have I got? Let me just jump on sorry about this. I'm going to jump on a flight tracker. Wow, it's 5 minutes early. You having a laugh? It's going to be 5 minutes early. Time is it? Yes, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Right, let me jump back into that. Let me see if we can get this up to 300 votes within the next 7 minutes. We're at 237 votes. Let's see if we can get up to around 300. I know it's not going to be nothing compared to one that was done today, but it is all about opinions, isn't it? It was a different question on a Celtic state of mind. Oh, well, there you go. It was a different question on a Celtic state of mind. That's it. It was probably, do you want him as manager? And a lot of people would say no to that. It's all about how you ask the question, of course. He also stayed in Ireland when what? Big Rob. Big Rob hits it all day. Funny how fans watch YouTube, which is owned by Google, which supports Israel, and will happily use Google each day, which gives money to Israel. Funny tinted glasses. I don't think that. Anyway, let's not get into politics, because it's just going down. No, he's not confirmed. I'm going to jump to. He's not confirmed as yet. What did the? I have no idea. I don't watch that channel. Just get solid players in the door. Is Stevie Welsh? Does Celtic put anything out on their website for Stevie Welsh, or are they just Have the no, nothing. As per normal, just release it to the media, and that's if it's happened today. It's maybe not happened. Well, it has to have happened today if journalists are talking about it, and it's been on Sky, hasn't it? The story here. Anthony Joseph on Sky. So it's not made Sky Sports headlines, but Anthony Joseph on Sky. No thanks. He would know because he's on that website that the clubs all use for players. So he would have seen that pop up. Stevie Welsh has been released. The website that you've got to have an invite. You've got to have a telephone conversation to get invited onto. You can't just apply to it to get onto it. You've got to know someone within the trade, as they say. Right, 54. Right, we are at 264 votes. Come on, get the votes in. Still at 64%, 36%, 64% say yes, 36% say no. There we go. It's stupid people not wanting Keane. There's a nice comment coming in. Stupid not wanting Keane. He had a good run in Europe. Something we can't do. Young attacking manager. Relations to the club. Has a similar win percentage to previous managers. This is true. Welsh is off. Sky reported it. Yeah, I know. We did that earlier at the beginning. 200 wars going on in the world. 201 now. Where's the next one? Oh dear, oh dear. Sky reporter, what are they talking about? Sky are just basically saying that there is still. I think that no want to talk politics now. That's because Google pays you. Funny that. I never knew that Google supported Israel, so I don't know why you're making an issue out of it, mate. Don't know. I've made a lot of money using Google over the years through various businesses, not because of YouTube. I made far more money before this YouTube channel was ever in existence through using Google and manipulating Google for my own benefit. So you can't hit me with, oh, you support Google. I've manipulated Google well before this YouTube channel to make quite a bit of money for my business back home. Is there any chance the Celtic drawn Shamrock Rovers in the early round of the qualifiers? Nope, not a chance. More to the point, will the board back Keane with his transfers? I think that's one of the main questions that should be asked. No personal attacks, Baz, but he's a stand-up guy. Let's not have that. Yeah. I just block folk when the person attacks me anyway. Do you know what I mean? I've manipulated. I was manipulating Google before yous were even watching YouTube. I was manipulating Google before YouTube was even. Well, it was only 3 years old at that point. So anyway, don't care. Google is daft as fuck. It's kind of good to stop arguing. Yeah, I think that there's one thing for sure. Is you could see what it's doing to the fan base. Do you know what I mean? It's everyone's got the. Do you know what everyone thinks about politics, right? And I don't give a shit about politics. I don't watch the news on a daily basis. What I'm getting through. Do you know what I'm going to? I'm got a couple of minutes left, and I'm going to give an opinion on reactions that I see and I hear. There's a lot of people that spend a lot of time watching mainstream media, watching news, watching social media, and it having a negative effect on their life. I don't watch any news at all. Some may say I live in a bubble. I don't. I stopped watching it in 2020. As soon as they started telling me to wash my hands for 20 seconds and put a t-shirt around my fucking, sorry for swearing, around my face to stop COVID, I knew it was bullshit. I'd worked in an industry where I knew how blood pathogens worked. I knew how to clean up crime scenes. I'd went on courses to do this. But yet I was made to go into an empty building, full hazmat stuff, to do a deep clean of a carpet. Myself. I knew the risks and there was no risks. It was bullshit. People just need to have their own thoughts on things. And sometimes, yeah. I'll always back the team, but not Robbie Keane. Celtic shares are up 31% in a month. Well, why is that? Of course they're up 31%. There's a guy, we did it, Anyway, of course they're up 31%. If somebody's about to buy £10 million worth of shares, that's going to bump the share price up, isn't it? I haven't even got a say in my house, never mind trying to be political. Celtic shares are up £2.50 today. That means they're expecting a statement. A statement is imminent to the stock market. Yeah. Right. What time is it? 45 minutes to get to Malaga Airport. What is the poll doing? 301 votes. There we go. Bang. 301 people have had their say. And will you back Robbie Keane as Celtic manager? 61% say yes. 39% say no. Out of 1,600 people that have been on the live this afternoon, only 300 people voted. That could have been so much different, but oh, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? I still get shadow banned from Facebook via the government. Big far. Chris, you and my dad are the only people that I know that get banned for Facebook on a regular basis. The two of you are mental. Anyway, right, that's been done and dusted. I have to finish up. I'm heading down to Costa del Sol Airport, Malaga. Got to pick up the missus, and then that'll be it. I shall see you all in the morning. It's going to be exciting, isn't it? Yay. No. Funny, a Celtic state of mind, 59% said no. Yeah, there you go. You can't rig a poll, as they say, mate, but it just shows different times of day that you go onto social media, you'll get different outcomes from different types of people. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are. We are on 26,874. Come on, let's get to the 27,000 before that Wednesday night statement from Celtic Football Club. Catch you in the morning.